Friends, today we're diving into the story of a historical powerhouse that dominated global politics, trade, and culture for centuries. Spanning from the heart of the Middle East to the core of Europe and the coasts of North Africa, this empire held sway for over 600 years. This grand Islamic empire was known as the Ottoman Empire. We'll explore its origins, the heights of its glory, its unique characteristics, and the reasons for its eventual decline, all in a fresh, detailed, and engaging way. So buckle up. This is going to be an exciting and information-packed journey. Picture the late 13th century. On one side, the Byzantine Empire, once the pride of the Roman world, was in its twilight years. Its economy was crumbling, its armies exhausted, and the population of its capital, Constantinople, was shrinking fast. People were weary from hunger, disease, and constant raids. The city's massive defensive walls still stood, but the power behind them had faded. On the other side, in Anatolia, modern-day Turkey, the Seljuk Empire had been obliterated by the Mongol storm. The Mongols' devastation shattered the Seljuk central authority, leaving the region fragmented into small Turkish principalities. These Turkish tribes were fierce warriors, deeply loyal and fueled by the spirit of Ghazis, fighters for Islam. They raided borderlands with their clans, but lacked a unifying leader to bring them under one banner. In this chaos emerged a man named Osman Ghazi. Western historians call him Othman, and his followers became known as Ottomans. Around 1299, he founded a small state on the western edge of Anatolia, near the Byzantine frontier. The town of Soğut was modest, but its location was strategic, bordering the weakened Byzantine territories. Osman rallied his Ghazi companions, launched small campaigns, seized lands, and won allies. This was the seed that would grow into a colossal tree spanning 3 continents. Osman died in 1326, but by then, his state stood on a solid foundation. Osman and his son Orhan expanded by purchasing land, forging alliances with local lords, and building their army. Orhan declared himself sultan and in 1361 captured Adrianople, modern Edirne. This was the Byzantine Empire's second most important city, and its fall opened the gates to Europe for the Ottomans. But their real edge came from gunpowder innovation. While most armies relied on swords, bows, and cavalry, the Ottomans fielded musket-carrying infantry. Horseback archers gave way to foot soldiers who could fire from a distance. They were also pioneers in artillery with heavy cannons that pulverized city walls. This technology reached them before Europe and gave them a battlefield advantage. In 1402, a massive crisis struck when Timur the Lame crushed the Ottomans at the Battle of Ankara. Sultan Bayezid I was captured, civil war erupted, and it seemed the empire was finished. Timur had already sacked Baghdad and raided Delhi, but fortunately he turned toward China, giving the Ottomans a chance to recover. Over the next few decades, they rebuilt their strength, setting their sights on the heart of the Byzantine Empire, Constantinople. The year 1453 marked a turning point in history. Mehmed II, just 21 years old, launched an assault on Constantinople. The city's population had dwindled from 1 million to a mere 50,000. Its economy was in ruins, its army feeble, but its walls were still considered impregnable. Mehmed prepared for months. He commissioned a 26-foot-long mega cannon that fired 1,200-pound stone balls, hammering the walls relentlessly. The Golden Horn, a bay between the Bosphorus Strait and the Sea of Marmara, was blocked by a massive chain to keep the Ottoman navy out, but Mehmed pulled off a stunning maneuver. One night, his forces dragged 70 ships over a greased hillside and launched them into the bay. The city was now besieged on 2 sides. After 53 days of relentless bombardment and assaults, Ottoman troops breached the walls and stormed in. The 1,000-year-old Byzantine Empire was no more. Mehmed, now called Mehmed the Conqueror, renamed the city Istanbul, made it the Ottoman capital, and invited Muslims, Christians, and Jews to settle there. Istanbul soon became a global hub of trade, arts, and culture. This wasn't just a city's fall, it changed the world. A power vacuum emerged in Europe. Christian nations saw an Islamic empire at their doorstep, reigniting the Crusades. Land trade routes to the east, once under Byzantine control, now fell to the Ottomans, prompting Europeans to seek sea routes. Columbus discovered America. Vasco da Gama reached India. Greek scholars fled Constantinople to Italy, bringing ancient Greek and Latin texts that sparked the Renaissance. The empire expanded rapidly. In 1520, Suleiman the Lawgiver, known in the West as the Magnificent, ascended the throne, ruling for 46 years. His reign saw conquests of Belgrade, Rhodes, Tripoli, Baghdad, and Hungary. His navy turned the Mediterranean into an Ottoman lake. He reached the gates of Vienna but couldn't take the city. Suleiman streamlined laws, capped taxes, and made governance efficient. Through the Devshirme system, he recruited Christian boys, educated them, converted them to Islam, and trained an elite force called the Janissaries, fiercely loyal to the Sultan and unbeatable in battle. The millet system granted Christians and Jews religious autonomy, fostering stability through tolerance. The Ottomans never directly invaded India because the Safavid Empire in Persia blocked their land route, and they couldn't overcome it. But connections existed, diplomatic exchanges with the Bahmani Sultanate, Ottoman Rumi artillery experts employed in the Deccan, and an alliance with Gujarat against the Portuguese. In 1538, the Siege of Diu failed against Portuguese naval power. Decline began after 1600. Weak sultans, confined to the harem and lacking experience, took the throne. The Janissaries grew rebellious. Europe surged ahead with the Industrial Revolution. The 1683 defeat at Vienna was a blow. The Balkan Wars cost them European territories. Greece gained independence in 1830. Romania, Serbia, and Bulgaria in 1878. In World War I, the Ottomans sided with the Central Powers and were defeated in 1918. The Mudros Armistice divided their lands. On November 1, 1922, the empire officially ended. On October 29, 1923, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk founded the Republic of Turkey, modernizing and secularizing the nation. A small Ghazi band that rose in 1299 had by the late 1500s spread across Asia, Europe, and Africa. Its strength lay in military strategy, a tolerant system, artistic marvels like the Topkapi Palace and Sultan Ahmed Mosque, and trade dominance. Today, the Ottoman imprint lives on in Istanbul's streets, Balkan markets, and Arab culture. It wasn't just an empire, it was a cultural bridge linking East and West.